I love my Jalen Brown story. I love it.
Yeah.
So Jalen Brown, he went to Jakarta. So I was like, hey, I'm your boy, man. You know, you need anything, just hit me up. And then he's like, no. Udah diorganize semuanya sama NBA. I'm good. So 2 days before he came, bro, I might need your help.
Dude, this is where I knew this was real shit. You weren't getting paid to do all that shit.
No.
You were spending money.
Yes. People don't know that.
But you deserve it, man. To go out there and say, gua akan liputin, but there's numbers here. Otherwise, if it's not me, who else?
Mungkin gue orangnya terlalu cinta basket kali ya. I just love my work.
Does the game love you back like you love the game?
I think right now, yes. Karena gue hidup dari basket. I could say probably basket gave me a lot.
So let's talk about the passion towards Indonesian basketball. Gitu. It's there, but you're on your own. Is it a tough ride?
It is a very tough ride.
Gimana caranya Rocky Padilla bisa diapresiasi lebih oleh liga atau industri basket?
Welcome to the Friday Podcast, a melting pot of all ideas and stories. Whether it's the resilience behind a punchline, the humanity behind a policy, or the spark that fuels a masterpiece. In our studio, we pull back the curtain and explore the other side of every story. Because here at the Friday Podcast, we talk, you listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, E.S. Lawrence. My next guest, I wanted to talk to this guy for so long. We share the same school. Angkatannya jauh, di atas gue jauh banget. Tapi everybody knows him. Fotonya viral di mana-mana. The first picture that I saw him was actually with Shaq. The Shaquille O'Neal. And if you're in a basketball game, kalau lo di misalnya Liga Indonesia gitu, everybody knows him. Everybody wants to high five him. I bet your ass dia ada hand sanitizer untuk tangan dia. And it's like a video where you see a kid that says how much he loves Pakistan. Have you ever seen that? It's him and basketball. He would die for basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Rocky Padilla, how you doing, man?
What an intro, though. Thank you so much, man.
Dude,
thank you so much for having me.
The day we shoot this, it's still early January.
Yes.
Yeah, kan? Are you I wouldn't say resolutions, because at this age, I don't think resolutions
I don't think
exist
so.
anymore. Are you a long-term dreamer?
I am. So I really want to be like the ESPN of Indonesia. That's my dream. Still.
Dude, I remember this. You said once bahwa the dream atau the goal was to live in the States, make a living there, live in Seattle with your lady, obviously. What happened? You've been here.
I think my calling is in Indonesia. Like, I feel right. Di Jakarta gitu kayak, because gimana pun juga, of course, the dream is to go to the NBA, work in the NBA.
Got it.
You know, work for an NBA team.
Yeah.
Working with NBA players.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest dream. But when I put out my NBA content,
Yeah.
itu rasanya beda banget sih. Nggak sepuas kayak gue put out local content, IBL content, like promoting IBL players.
Karena growing atau karena
I think it's growing that I want to be part of the process.
got it.
You know, kalau nanti tiba-tiba one day basket Indonesia meledak, I want people to say like, oh yeah, Rocky is part of the process.
Got it.
You know, so I get more chills when I put out Indonesian basketball content. Kayak gue pas ngobrol sama pemain basketball tuh lebih kayak
Yeah.
excited.
You're the cool uncle of Indonesian basketball players.
I hope not yet, because now anak-anak
Dude,
kaus
you're not young. You're not young.
anak-anak kaus 10 sekarang manggil gue om. Kaus 10, kaus 12, Om Rocky. Like,
I saw Yesaya and Ariki looking at you like they're cool unc. Kayak, hey, kayak.
yeah, because I've been following him for a while now. Yesaya, I say he was the number 1 high school player
Yep.
in Indonesia back in the day. So Arigi gue juga udah ikutin dari kuliah.
Yeah.
Jadi me, Yesaya, and Arigi, we got that connection, you know. Dari
Yeah. Dude, there's so many things to talk about. But I want to start things off with this.
No, we gotta go back to that Shaq, bro. You know this because the seragam global, kan?
Yeah, of
Shout out to
course.
Global Jaya, though.
Yeah, I want to go there actually.
Okay.
People know you from pictures of you and NBA players, and from there, you know, people know your dad. Dude, a picture with Schumacher and he was on the car gitu kayak it's weird shit growing up. It's not normal.
It is not. It is not.
I had posters of the Ferrari gitu.
Gua ada poster The Rock, ada poster banyak waktu kecil, Larry Johnson.
Yeah, and you get to meet them. Like that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Like how was it growing up?
I would like to say first, my dad is living his life.
Yeah.
He's living his dreams. His first love is Formula One.
Yeah.
He loved Michael Schumacher to death. Like every week kalau ada race,
Got
itu dia selalu ngomonginnya Michael Schumacher. So one day, I don't know how, waktu itu gue masih sekolah di LA. So one day he just called me like, hey, gue hari ini mau disetirin lo sama Michael Schumacher. Gue kayak, what? How? Like how? Dia kayak bilang he made like some donations. So it was for charity. He made it like, wow, he's like next to Michael Schumacher, like disetirin. Like, what? How? I don't know how.
I mean, I grew up in a family of motorsports. Karena my dad, in fact, he used to work for F1 itself. Man, this was years ago, man, like 80s. And it wasn't a big deal until I realized that these are real cars that go really fast and you get...
I'm scared. I'm scared for my dad.
It's real deal gitu.
Yes.
And I grew up watching sports seperti anak lain pada umumnya gitu. Kayak kita lihat, I saw Kobe on TV. I saw, all these big names on every morning gitu. Tapi you get to live the life of actually being there and working there and be a contributor. And I wanna ask you this, which for me is real question. For you to have photographs with them and be out there gitu, does that mean a lot or does that mean shit?
I gotta take a break before I answer, but it's a dream, bro. It's
Is
a
it?
dream. First of all, gue nonton basket tuh dulu kecil, bisa foto sama Ali Budimansyah, bisa foto sama Rumi Chandra, Thomas Teddy, itu udah happy-nya luar biasa.
Okay.
Dan one day, blessed with my dad, successful in his business, so I got a chance to go to the States. But dari dulu gak pernah kepikiran bisa ketemu Kobe, rest in peace, ketemu Shaq, ketemu all these basketball superstars. Gak pernah kebayang gitu. Tapi always surreal sih. The feeling is just surreal, man. When I see like LeBron, Carmelo Anthony.
And don't say Carmelo Anthony just like that. You're homies, man.
I'm like we know kayak kenal muka lah, tapi nggak kenal secara personal lah.
He
Tapi
tapped you on the back and then
he did. I was like surprised too. He remembers me, but it's hard to describe it, man. I'm one of the luckiest ones.
Okay, then let me ask you this, Bertie. How does it feel to share the same passion with your father?
Unbelievable. Yeah, itu jujur gue nggak pernah nyangka gue akan jadi media.
Yeah.
Never thought in my life. So one day my dad was like, "You want to try to be a media?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" It was All-Star, NBA All-Star. I think All-Star di Phoenix tahun 2009. I gave it a try and it was fun. It was really fun, like meeting all these players, asking them questions, and it was just. Gua sama my dad, this is how we bond. This is how we bond. Even though he's not a real media, they're doing this for his hobby. He loves taking pictures. But you only live once in this world. You want to spend as much time as you can with your dad.
Oh, that's right, man. Oh, fuck.
So me and my dad, every time we go to the States, it was just something that I cherish.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure, like, I don't know if this is the last time.
Got it.
Me and my dad gonna go to the States together. You never know. So every time I go to the States, I try to spend as much time with him. We go to a basketball game together. That's how we enjoy our time. Oh my God, I must cry. But I am very happy that my dad supported me with what I'm doing right now. And pokoknya sekarang ini gue cuma bisa bersyukur aja sih, grateful that me and my dad always
have that bond,
man, And this media thing, we never planned it.
Got it.
I didn't go to media school.
Yeah.
I took journalism.
Yeah.
My wife took journalism. malahan.
Did she?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad how life works.
Yeah.
But I know my dad is getting old now.
Yeah.
So I try every time dia minta gue temenin dia untuk nonton basket atau apa,
Make time.
I will try my best to make
Of course.
time.
Dude, well, there's one particular person that changed everything. Eko Widodo. Itu Mas Eko.
Yes.
Man, tell us the story. How, if it wasn't because of him, you wouldn't have the opportunity to go to NBA.
That's true.
What's the story? How did it happen?
Okay. I think it was 98, Plaza Senayan. I still remember. Dulu ada sports station.
Yeah.
Dekat eskalator. So it was Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay. Wow. They
Mereka-
were here from
They
New
were
York.
here. Yes. Mereka main di convention center. So there were some meet and greet. Ini kita belum pernah ketemu almarhum. Belum pernah ketemu sama sekali. This is the first
It
time.
wasn't your dad's homie at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Sama sekali nggak kenal. Waktu itu Mas Eko jelas the top journalist. For NBA
Got it.
di koran bola.
He was the only one.
He was the only one. He went back and forth. I think he went to the Utah Jazz and Chicago Bulls finals in Salt Lake City. So we approached him, say hi, introduce ourselves. And we said like we basketball fanatics, we love Kobatama dulu and we love the NBA. And actually he just pitched it right there. He was like, mau gak kalau bisa ke Amerika liput access NBA, we got some connection and bisa tulis buat koran bola, contributor sebagai koran bola, yeah. And then my dad say, of course, yes to that. And akhirnya mereka kenalan, mereka ngobrol, and one day udah dibantuin untuk bisa dapat akses NBA. Without him, kita nggak bakal ada di sini sih.
Dan asumsi orang-orang adalah lo kerja buat Jawa Pos gitu atau koran bola gitu. And that's not true, man. I didn't. Dude, this is where I knew this was real shit. You weren't getting paid to do all that shit.
No.
You were spending money.
Yes. People don't know that. People keep asking me like, oh pesawat lu dibayarin dong sama ini.
Yeah.
Kan gue waktu itu kontributor bola dan juga Jawa Pos
Yeah.
ya. Jadi bayarin dong sama medianya. Gue kayak, nah sama dad.
That's a topic to itself. Because I really want to cover that passion, and it's beyond passion, man. And how I see kids nowadays lose passion and don't have one karena they have so many options gitu. Itu salah satu topik yang gue bahas hari ini. But before we get to that, I want to talk about your connection. You were lo nemenin banyak pemain basket di sini gitu. And we're talking about homies with people that are way beyond our reach gitu. You broke the boundaries of, being a fan to a friend. Talk to us your craziest story, man.
This is nggak PG-13, right? Nah, just kidding. Nah,
Not the hot sauce story. This is a different story.
no, but I'm lucky juga kan. I grew up in the States, right? I moved to the States when I was 15.
Yeah.
I stayed there until I was like 23 in the States. So I have punya teman banyak lah. So I know how to connect with people. I know how to talk to people. I think that's important.
Of course.
In the world right now. So Jaylen Brown. I love my Jaylen Brown story. I love it.
Yeah.
So Jaylen Brown, he went to Jakarta. I think it was 18.
Yeah.
2018. So gue udah tahu nih dia mau datang kan. And I was actually in the same building with him in Las Vegas, NBA Summer League.
Okay.
So I approached him, Jaylen, you're coming to Indonesia next week, I'm your boy. You need anything?
Were you planning on flying to Jakarta?
Iya, itu
you
gue
were planning to
pulang.
go back,
Yeah,
okay.
gue pulang habis itu. So I was like, hey, I'm your boy, man. You need anything?
Yeah.
Just hit me up. And then he's like, no. Udah di-organize semuanya sama NBA. I'm good. So I was like, just keep my Instagram.
Yeah.
Just DM me if you need anything. So fast forward, 2 days before he came to Indonesia. Bro, I might need your help. I'm going to Bali first.
Motherfucker capping.
Yeah, I'm going to Bali first, might need you to come arrange a couple of things for me and my family. All right. And ini nggak dibayarin ya.
Wow.
So gue bayar sendiri ke Bali. I pay for my own flight and my own hotel.
Were you married?
Not yet. I was
not
single.
yet. Oh, yeah, good.
I was single,
Yeah.
so it was like
Nobody's
I'm-
gonna
yeah,
hold you back.
I'm like, okay, let's go, Bali. So Jalen, the craziest thing about Jalen Brown was he got his 2 homies from Puerto Rico. Dia bawa nih homiesnya from Puerto Rico. Oh my God, bro. We were in Kuta.
Why you gotta bring a boy to Kuta, man?
Because somebody on the plane said, you gotta go to
No
Kuta.
way. Did he? Oh fuck, he hurt.
Sky
yeah.
Garden.
No way.
The guy sitting next to him was like, oh yeah, man, you gotta go to Sky Garden, bro. You gotta check it out. I was like, bro, gue juga udah bilang gak usah ke Kuta. Kita langsung Seminyak aja. Kita juga tinggalnya di Seminyak gitu. Tapi dia kayak, no man, the guy next to me stop. Kita ke Sky Garden, you know what?
Which floor?
3rd floor, I think.
The hip hop floor.
Yeah,
I forgot about it. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? We just came in there, spent like 5 million for like 5 minutes.
No, you see, he should have listened to you.
I know, right? So we went there. The guy, the table next to us was like, "Oh my God, it's Jalen Brown!"
Oh, did?
Oh my God! So it was a
Ruined
turn
the
off.
night.
Yeah, ruined the night because the guy at the table next to us udah minta foto gitu kan. Jalen did not feel it because he just got in, still jet lag. So we left, we bounced, and temennya 2 biji ini buka kaca di Kuta. Teriak-teriak terus, manggil-manggil cewek.
Oh fuck.
Yo.
People know them?
Nah, untungnya enggak kan. Tapi kan ada Jalen di mobil kan.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what's up girls? You know, we're from the States. I was like, bro. Gue juga kayak mau ngomong jangan kan gak bisa kan. So, akhirnya they just wilding out. I cannot tell you guys the whole story. I cannot tell you guys the whole story.
You can tell this part though. Yang dia bawa ke
Lava Fella?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Lava Fella. I know Jalen was still. Oh my, Jalen don't get mad at me if you watch this. Jalen waktu itu masih rookie contract, but it's still $4 million though. But now he's one of the biggest contracts, probably the biggest contracts in the NBA. So Lava Fella. No, this is the first one was funny. The first one was really funny because kan panjang banget line-nya. You know, Lava Fella was still lit back then. Panjang banget, terus gue kayak ke depan dong, ke security-nya. Pak, saya sama pemain NBA nih. Terus security-nya kayak doesn't even care. It's like,
coba
I don't give a shit. Like, he said like, ngantri mas di ujung. Gue kayak, bro, I got a Boston Celtic player bro with me. Nah mas, ngantri di ujung ya tetep ya.
What did he say?
He said that.
No. What did Jalen say?
Oh, Jalen said, okay, we just gonna come back tomorrow. We go.
Oh, you did go back tapi?
We did. Kita dari dinner akhirnya. Dari 8 o'clock bro. 8 o'clock kita udah makan. Kita makan di meja yang panjang because we have like 10 people with us, right?
Got it.
So it's like the Last Supper. It felt like the Last Supper.
He was in the middle.
He was in the middle. And we were praying
This
too.
is my drink.
Yeah, we were praying before we ate.
So you were praying before you fuck bitches.
I won't say that. I won't say that.
Okay,
But
it's not for the podcast.
yeah, but akhirnya kita dapet table. We had a table. It was a small table. So we ordered Grey Goose. He loved Grey Goose. So we had a Grey Goose and the bill came, right? The bill came. Nobody touching it.
No, he wasn't touching it?
Nobody touching it. And the mas nungguin terus kan. So I was like, okay, jalan. Gue kayak tungguin 2 menit gitu masih gak dilihat gitu sama Jalen kan.
No way.
Ya udahlah akhirnya gak enak kan.
I
took it. I pay for it. So I guess ya udahlah gitu kan. Lu hang out with NBA players.
You gonna say it?
What?
You gonna say it?
Nah, I don't say it. It's okay. I took the 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool to hang out with Jalen Brown. But I mean like sometimes lu kalau lagi hang out sama NBA players gitu, you just have to know. Like you have to read the situation. You have to read the room.
But I know people like Braun. He's stingy as well, kan?
Yeah.
He doesn't spend his money.
I mean like
What is it with rich people not spending money?
that's why they're rich.
They gotta keep their net worth.
Yeah, that's why they're rich.
Okay, dude. But you got a different story about going to the house of
Oh, Justin Holiday.
Holiday.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. I was in Indiana. So Justin, this is crazy too, because waktu itu Justin itu pakai baju yang kayak batik. I forgot the name. My wife knows it.
Yeah.
So I just posted on my Insta story. Oh shit, Justin Holiday pakai batik gitu kan.
Yeah.
it blew up. It blew up. It got like a lot of comments, like probably like 1,000 comments.
This is not your first time blowing up. Like,
But
you got a couple of
with
things.
NBA players, yeah. With NBA
Was
players
this-
with
was
Justin
this the
Holiday.
first one?
Yeah,
Okay,
first
terus?
one. So Justin was like, gila gue kok dapet banyak banget ya komen dari orang Indonesia gitu. And then he hit me up. He said like,
Did he?
yeah, we talk about it. Dia bilang kayak, gimana caranya biar bisa dapat batik yang beneran gitu. So actually I think ada satu orang yang suka bikin batik dari Jogja, I think. Dia kirim akhirnya the real batik to Justin Holiday, and when he got it, he called me, and actually ini pas banget momennya gue mau ke Amerika juga, so we arrange it untuk dia unbox-nya di Indiana sama gue di YouTube gue gitu.
You went to his house?
I went to his house. It was jauh. It was jauh dari Indiana. So NBA players kan mereka suka tinggalnya kan kayak di
sendiri tapi
sendiri,
gede.
Iya gede, terus kayak di tempat yang safe gitu kan.
Because they're always
Nggak di
going
kota.
out.
Iya. So I took an Uber. Gila gue nyampe Indiana. Did not even go to my hotel. I went straight to his house. He gave me the location. It was like one big house. It was like 4 lantai.
Jeez.
3 lantai, 4 lantai gitu. I won't say pertama kali, because gue pertama kali ke rumah pemain NBA itu adalah Bobby Simmons, my good friends. I used to play for the Clippers, big house as well in Chicago. But ini special because I never met Justin before.
Yeah.
So it was like, wow, dia mau loh sampai invite orang, strangers dari Indonesia yang lo gak even kenal gitu, ke rumahnya dia. So it was funny because kita juga belum melihat batik ya.
Yeah. You didn't know.
Kita nggak lihat, jadi kita nggak tahu benar-benar itu natural reaction semua dari Justin Holiday sih. And then we keep in contact sampai today sih. Tapi very happy gue bisa part of.
Did it fit?
It fit.
Oh, okay.
It fit. Jadi gue seneng banget gue bisa jadi bagian dari prosesnya dia akhirnya pakai batik. So I went to a game in the Pacers. Aduh, gue lupa lawannya siapa ya. So in Indiana. Dia pakai itu untuk pregame.
Oh, that's right. Dia jalan di
Yes.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, went viral as well.
Itu went viral as well. Jadi
crazy one. And then he wore it again kalau nggak salah. He wore it a couple of times, right?
Dia kok bisa pakai terus kayak.
He loved all the likes.
Yeah, he loved all the likes. Jadi kayak gue senang aja sih dia jadi bagian dari ini. Dan actually kedutaan Indonesia dari Chicago pun juga akhirnya kontak dia. Akhirnya juga undang dia ke embassy-nya Indonesia di Chicago.
Itu netizen Indonesia emang paling jago sih.
Iya kan?
Iya kan?
Iya kita. And then kita juga seneng dong kan, maksudnya kayak Justin Holiday, that means juga Drew Holiday knows, Aaron Holiday knows,
that's right.
Holiday family knows. Jadi it was good though, untuk bisa memperkenalkan dan juga promosi Indonesia.
Got it. Well, dude, mempromosikan Indonesia, you've been doing that for years.
Oh, yes.
I mean, okay. Before we get to that, who's the most famous person in your contact?
Wow, I might need to check out my phone, but my phone is over there. Most famous. I don't have a lot of famous people on my phone.
NBA?
I don't even have Jaylen Brown's number.
Really?
To be honest, yeah. Nggak ada sih kalau main NBA.
Kalau di Instagram banyak yang follow.
Followers banyak.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess kalau most famous followers probably Donovan Mitchell. Mana?
Dude, for the culture, for the Indonesian culture,
yes,
it's something big. You've talked about this for years. Let's talk about that. Gitu. Let's talk about the passion towards Indonesian basketball. Gitu. Dan menurut gue unik karena it's at the sexiest at the moment. Gitu. The players are getting recognized. The people are, talking about it, talking about games. Highlights are in your YouTube and everything. It's there. But you're on your own. Is it a tough ride?
It is a very tough ride.
Hey guys, sorry for interrupting the podcast. We have a special announcement. Kita sedang berkolaborasi dengan Avalanche, sebuah brand parfum, dan kita membuat 2 varian. Ada The Host dan juga The Interview Room. Both smells really good, dan it represents the podcast itself. If you're a fan and if you're a friend, jangan lupa langsung beli. Link in the description. Now, let's get back to the podcast. Thank you.
Banyak lah. Kendalanya banyak banget. Struggle-nya juga banyak banget. But itu, kita overcome dengan passion sih. And I love what I'm doing gitu. Tapi memang like I said, kayak kalau ada kompetisinya lebih enak gitu. Maksudnya kayak we have a competitor. I mean like competitor is not a bad thing.
No, I agree.
I always said the more content creator for basketball is the merrier.
Yeah.
Because that means the industry is growing.
Yeah.
Karena kalau cuma satu doang atau 2, 3, sekarang boleh kita bilang mungkin ada Kode Densu Sumari, tapi kan dia nggak fokus di IBL.
Yeah.
Dia lebih fokus untuk bikin kontennya dia. Mungkin kalau Kak Augie sama Kak Ujo, yes.
Dari
entertainmentnya mereka ada gitu. Tapi kan mungkin mereka nggak sesering gua uploadnya. Kalau gua sekarang ini kita udah kalau pas kita taping menuju 2 hari menuju IBL, I'm pushing it. Kasih orang tahu kayak okay, IBL starting in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, mencoba untuk semua fans IBL untuk hype.
Yeah.
Exciting. Looking forward for the games this weekend. But yeah, like I said, gue berharap sih dari podcast sebelumnya gue bilang bahwa akan ada the next Rocky Padilla.
But
because right now if I stop,
yeah, that's the end of it.
I don't know.
The league's dead.
Nggak dead lah.
Not to that extent sih.
Not to that extent, tapi kayak
covering.
Who gonna promote the players?
Got it, yeah.
Who gonna?
But okay, this is what I see. This is you covering the NBA all over again. You're not getting bucks from this. You're not. I mean,
people always have that perception kalau YouTube itu views tinggi. Yeah, kalau in millions, yes.
Yeah.
But basketball doesn't get million views.
Yeah, you're lucky enough you get 30,000.
Yeah, 30,000. Yeah. If we could get like 15,000, I'm like happy.
Yeah.
Like kita ada di Soda sekarang ini kayak, if I want to buy that painting, paintingnya 110 juta. I don't know how many videos I need to make. Gue gak tahu harus bikin berapa video untuk upload untuk bisa beli painting ini. The painting looks really nice. Like I want it. But obviously gue gak bisa gitu. Tapi kan makanya itu kenapa gue buka membership. Like,
does it work?
Amin work sekarang ini sih. Jadi
does it pay the bills?
Pay the bill, yes.
Really?
Have a baby, not yet.
Got it.
But pay the bills, yes.
Got it.
But hopefully I could one day cukup untuk bisa punya baby sih. Looking forward to that.
Definitely, man. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Want to be a dad.
We need a little Rocky.
Yeah, I want to be a dad. I really want to be a dad.
Yeah.
But membership, luckily, shout out to all my members.
Yeah.
It works because right now mau nggak mau gue harus paksain orang sih untuk jadi member. Kayak gue ada beberapa konten. Gue dulu kan the hardest job about my job is balance. Yang free content and the membership content. Kan gue harus balik lagi dong ke niat gue. Ke niat gue adalah untuk promosi pemain, promosi tim, promosi liga. Gue gak bisa egois kayak, oh ya konten ini gue harus keep for membership. Kan kalau di keep untuk membership kan viewsnya gak akan banyak gitu.
Betul.
Hanya members doang yang bisa menikmati. Jadi gue have to think really hard kayak gimana caranya adil dan orang-orang ini masih dapat exposure gitu loh.
Yeah.
So right now ya gue usahain sih 1 atau 2 game aja yang untuk members gitu loh. Jadi my members masih happy, mereka masih mendapatkan sesuatu dari bayar per bulan karena I know it's not easy to pay per month.
Yeah.
Kayak orang langganan tuh nggak semua orang mau loh.
Yeah.
Jadi gue harus tetap kasih mereka sesuatu. And mereka tiap hari juga bisa kontak gue gitu. Yeah. Jadi karena kita ada server Discord.
Okay.
You can contact me 24/7. We can talk about basketball 24/7. Ya dan gue harus kasih mereka juga sesuatu gitu. Konten yang mungkin eksklusif, yang seru gitu. Jadi untuk members only. Dan sekarang itu gue udah lebih berani sih.
Yeah.
Udah lebih berani karena ya gue juga merasa gue kasih banyak yang free sih.
Yeah. What is it that you say to the teams, bukan teams sih, to the individuals here, to the players for the game? Karena you love the game so much that you want it to be better kan. You want the athletes to be able to speak, to be able to talk in front of media. Because I remember you saying this juga gitu bahwa atlet kurang pandai self-promote and they're not media trained. I mean, we one of our first meetups, if I'm not mistaken, was di acara CAF gitu ya kan.
Yeah.
When we sat there, And then I said to you, dude, these players can talk. And then I remember you saying to me, well, these are the only ones.
It's getting better now, you
Yeah.
know. Karena kan sekarang udah social media, digital semuanya kan udah huge, right?
Got it.
It's part of your life every day. Dan kalau memang basket mau jadi industri, pemain-pemainnya harus dapat brand deals lebih banyak.
Yeah.
Karena kan kalau mereka dapat brand deals, mereka akan dipromote sama brand tersebut kan. Dan juga orang pasti kayak, ini siapa nih gitu kok dipromote sama brand ini gitu. Jadi mereka harus pinter sih untuk promosi karena ya like in the NBA, you could see like you know players getting endorsed here and there.
Yeah.
Dan
Are
itu-
we going to that route?
We have to. I think we have to karena ya once again, gue tahu sih pemain lokal itu kadang-kadang suka takut ngomong karena ya peraturannya banyak kan kayak takut kena denda lah, ngomong ini takut salah lah, takut menyinggung
Jadi mending
siapa.
diam.
Jadi mendingan mereka tuh diem gitu. Tapi gue udah bahas ini sih sama IBL like you gotta let them live. Harus hidup gitu. Pemainnya biarkan mereka ekspresif gitu. Biarkan mereka bisa keluar personality-nya. Personality-nya keren-keren pemain IBL.
Got it.
Gayanya, stylenya
Yeah.
juga keren-keren.
Basketball is not just a game.
It's not. It's about lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
about entertainment.
It's hip hop. It's
It is.
it's everything. Yeah.
Dan gue udah selalu bilang bahwa sekarang kayak udah mendingan sih. I think sekarang ini banyak tim juga yang udah kasih sih pemainnya untuk datang pre-game bebas.
Okay. Yeah.
Because pre-game, let them express themselves. Mereka pakai t-shirt, mereka pakai celana. Kayak Arigi kan suka kayak Japanese fashion gitu kan. Yesai so swaggy.
Yeah.
Kevin Moses.
Yeah.
Banyak banget pemain-pemain itu yang gayanya keren-keren. Dan ini adalah konten. This is content.
Yeah.
Gitu loh. Jadi jangan sampai pemain-pemain ini kayak ikut liga profesional IBL gitu tapi terlalu dikekang gitu loh. Terlalu dikekang dan mereka gak bisa jadi
Yeah.
ekspresif gitu loh.
Are they getting what they deserve?
Right now, yes.
Oh wow.
Right now, secara
Berarti liganya healthy maksudnya.
going there, heading that way.
Okay.
Heading that way. Gue nggak tahu ya kontrak pemain. I have no idea. Gue nggak tahu real numbersnya berapa. But I could see from the lifestyle the players are living
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah,
Good shit.
good shit. I mean,
At
like,
least better than what you're getting.
yeah, better than my paycheck for sure. But
I want to talk about that. How do you feel? How do you feel that you can be deserved more? I mean, like gimana ya? Gimana caranya Rocky Padilla bisa diapresiasi lebih oleh liga atau industri basket?
I don't know, man. Apakah itu hanya waktu yang bisa jawab? Cause I have no idea. I don't gue jujur nggak bisa expect orang untuk atau liga untuk kayak oh yeah we're gonna give Rocky this, gonna give Rocky that. I cannot expect. All I can do right now is
But you deserve it, man. To go out there and say, gua akan liputin, but there's numbers here. Otherwise, if it's not me, who else? Isn't that something that you can talk about? No.
mungkin gue orangnya terlalu cinta basket kali ya. I just love my work. Like, I love it. Gue lebih pengen ada orang yang kayak datang ke gue kayak okay, Rock, we gonna appreciate you this way kayak gitu loh. Gue nggak ada sih di otak gue kayak oh iya gue berharap ini loh. Gue berharap itu.
Got it.
I don't have it. Right now di otak gue cuma kayak di 2025 I want to put out more content, better content. Gue pengen subscribers gue pengen followers gue bisa lebih dapat informasi lebih banyak sih. I think that's my mindset. Gue nggak ada mindset yang kayak wah gue udah bantuin ini, gue bantuin itu, gue perlu ini, perlu itu. Never. I do this job because I love it. Even my wife told me, ini resikonya.
Yeah.
This is your risk for doing this. Lo gak bisa expect orang untuk kasih lo a job. You cannot. So
You signed up for this.
I signed up for this. So it's up to the people. If they enjoy my work,
They'll
hopefully
appreciate you. Yeah.
they will appreciate me gitu. Tapi other than that, all I know, I just want to give the best for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
kayak gue, I don't know how long more I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm replaceable.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow, like I could be relevant today.
Yeah.
Besok gue bisa aja nggak relevan gitu loh. Bisa aja orang tiba-tiba gue gak suka lah kontennya Rocky Padilla gitu. So every day, my mindset is only, okay, let's do this, do our best, do my best, give the basketball fans a great content. That's it. I got, I would love one day. I would love to work with the league, but I don't know as a what.
Got it.
And
You're already a consultant of the league, no? You're already scouting players.
I hope I'm helping a lot of people sih, itu aja sih. I think in this world sekarang ini, I don't know how.
What does it lack berarti sekarang? Kayak I'll tell you what got me into basketball in the beginning.
Okay.
Gitu. Why I got hooked up with with the game itself. It was watching and one mixtape, obviously. Then I started looking up street ball because it was fun, and there was LA street ball. And I saw the man behind it. It was insane, literally, not even insane.
Yeah.
And then I met Rico Lubis and so on. So I was with Masa Depan Jakarta, started playing, and then I heard about the league, which was already called IBL. Gitu. And I saw a guy. His name was Mario Wushang.
Oh yeah, my big bro.
He was different than anyone else.
Oh, 2003. Woo.
Man, he was he was the Kobe back then because he looked like one. And then he had his headband on, and then it was a Satria Muda game, Britama, and then I brought up my jersey, had him signed. That got me hooked. Bahwa there's this real shit gitu. Bahwa a game with lively audience, then everybody was shouting, and that got me hooked gitu. But now with social media, you can see everything online. I had to go to Kelapa Gading gitu, to see it myself. You get what I mean? Gitu. You were at that age as well. You had to travel. You had to go with a picture of someone that you like. Gitu.
Yeah.
Now it's not there. I don't see the passion of the people like that anymore. Gitu. Why would I want to go that far, that extent for something that I can see on my cell phone? Gitu. And I'm not just talking about basketball. I'm talking about everything else where I don't think passion is there anymore. Gitu. But how do you tell the people to kaya, dude, you gotta find something you love because you keep on saying that. Gitu. Why does it matter? That's first thing first.
You have to know what you like in life.
Why does it matter?
You need a reason. You need a reason untuk hidup sih. Kayak you want to leave your mark.
Got it.
I want to leave my mark. I want to leave my legacy. I want people to think, when they think about Indonesian basketball, or either basketball in general, I want to think, oh shit, Rocky Padilla.
Yeah, you're at that point, no?
I don't know. I hope. So that's why I think my wife even married me, see.
Wow, it's that passion.
That passion.
Wow.
She said like, it's hard to find somebody with a passion.
Got it.
And she saw it in me, like, about basketball. And I always say, like, I don't know why, but I keep saying, I think God put me on earth for basketball. Because every time gue coba kerja yang lain, pull me right back, basketball.
Yeah.
I try to work for Under Armour, like, for like a year and a half. And I didn't enjoy it, like, di kantor gitu. And kayak, I was jobless for 2 years. And then I found this YouTube thing. Back to basketball. Like I couldn't play basketball, and I think God said, "Lah udah lu jadi media aja lah." I'm back in basketball. So
Is it difficult to find your calling?
it was when I was young. When I was young, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. All I know was basketball. Gue grew up sekolah nggak pinter-pinter banget. Yang penting lulus. Kuliah, I didn't know what to do. Kayak, I want to be a basketball player, nggak jadi. I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
So bingung kan, kerja sana sini, hampir pengen jadi DJ.
Really?
I want to be a DJ. Until today, I still want to be a DJ. DJ botak. But yeah, I think I found my calling. That first YouTube video, I was like, oh, I think I can do this.
That first YouTube video
With Jordan Kilganon. Wow. Dunker from the States.
Wow.
I'm from Canada.
Which Trump says Canada should be a part of the States now. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Does the game love you back like you love the game?
I think right now yes, karena gue hidup dari basket.
Got it.
I could say proudly, basket gave me a lot.
Yeah.
Kalau nggak ada basket sekarang, I cannot make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So gue bener bergantung banget sama basket.
What's the long-term goal? Because for a while, since I said it in the beginning that it was to work in the States, make money in Seattle, and be the Rocky Padilla in the US gitu. What's the long-term goal now?
Tadi pengen sih jadi GM atau presiden tim IBL sih.
Really?
That's what I want.
Oh wow.
I wanna kayak seru gitu kayak, you know, because I know a lot of talents, right? I could see it when I see one.
Of course.
Jadi gue pengen tuh kayak jadi Rob Pelinka-nya tim gitu IBL. Tapi memang ya sekarang ini orang kan pasti bilangnya Rocky still
The
doing
journalist,
right? Content creator. I don't want to call it journalist.
But the politics, I don't know about this. Educate me. The politics in IBL.
Oh yes, banyak pasti lah. I mean it's everywhere. Any jobs.
Yeah.
Any jobs.
But politics in sports is unique kan?
Yes. But I don't need to get into that. I'm fine with
Have there been offers for you yang kayak
gue udah mau cepet banget jawabnya. Nope.
the faster you answer berarti the means yes.
Yeah. Nope. Nah, it's okay. I mean like, you know, I could see myself if kalau member saya setia sampai saya umur 50, saya pun juga siap sih untuk jalan ini untuk sampai umur 50 sih.
Wow. Man, there's nobody like this ya sejauh ini yang gue ngomong tentang passion mungkin sedalam lo gitu, risking everything.
Yeah.
And you've risked everything gitu for this.
Even risk my marriage sometime.
Obviously, man. And it's
oh my god, gue waktu baru nikah ya. I just got married. I'll tell you the story.
What's the conversation like?
Baru married and then it was COVID. COVID hits. There's nothing. No basketball. No game.
This was 22.
Yes.
Okay.
My channel was like, wah dulu tuh ya, channel gue tuh sebelum COVID itu kalau nonton game apapun 50,000 views.
Wow.
60,000 views.
Wow.
Gue kayak, yeah, that's why let's get married, you know, because my channel is on the rise. And married, COVID hit, nggak ada konten, NBA shut down, everything shut down in this world. Kata orang kan, oh ya bikin konten aja, orang semua di rumah kan, menikmati konten. Got like 500 views, 1,000 views. 2,000 udah bagus banget aku 2,000 gitu. Check out my AdSense. Oh my god, how I'm gonna survive gitu.
Yeah.
Baru married gitu gimana gitu, harus sekarang lu harus biayain satu orang lagi gitu kan, kayak it was tough. That was the toughest time sih during my content creating career sih, kayak di bawah UMR. Every month di bawah UMR.
You were
Jakarta.
living in the States, no?
No, I was here. And then my wife moved, tapi ya udah gitu. Tapi gue enggak, kan gue harus kerja tetap di sini.
Yeah.
I can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
Yeah.
Dude, crazy. Dude, it all started with you dulu ketika 16 tahun you went to States and watched the games alone gitu. Dan gue suka lo bilang ini lo adalah anak kecil dengan kamera besar gitu. What do you see when you see that picture of yourself again gitu?
When I was small, when I was with Timnas, Senayan, umur berapa ya? 97, 99, 12 tahun.
What do you see now gitu? Kayak
It was a sign.
it was a sign.
It was a sign that I'm gonna be doing this.
Then
Siapa yang tahu? Kan kayak waktu dulu cuma buat minta tangan kan. And then, but I got to hang out with Ali Budimansyah when he was still Budi Jordan.
Yeah.
Romy Chandra when he was still Scottie Pippen. Rico Antono when he was still young. Like, the players loved me back then. Kayak mereka tuh seneng banget difotoin gitu. Kayak ada anak kecil yang suka foto-fotoin mereka terus dicetak, dikasih ke mereka. They were so happy. They were like, benar-benar kayak jadi my mentor juga gitu loh. Jadi kayak
Who changed the game, man, to be better? Mario Wushang did?
in Indonesia?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like changing the culture, or changing the game.
I gotta Changing the game.
I think Mario did. When he came, semua langsung cari pemain Indonesia yang ada di Amerika. Everybody think like
Man couldn't speak Indonesian, eh?
no, bro. That's why he like Rocky. You better stay with me. So, gue juga gak kenal Mario kan. So,
Oh, you didn't.
I didn't know him when he came. I didn't know him because he came to Aspak.
That's
Dulu kan gue sama Aspak deket ya,
Yeah.
sama Ko Kim Hong. So one day I went to the mess, met Mario, shook his hand. He was like, "How come you can speak English?" Like, bro, dulu gue masih tahun pertama sekolah di sana kan. My English juga sebenarnya nggak bagus-bagus banget. And I told him like, yeah, I'm going to school in LA right now playing basketball. So he got hype and everything. So every weekend we hang out at Cheetos.
That was a hit place, eh?
It was a hit plus, bro. It was ada tempat pizza di bawah, gue nggak tahu apa namanya itu. We're like there every weekend.
Wow.
Like we hang out there every weekend at Cheetos, and yeah, from there our relationship grew up.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. He did change the game. Gua nggak tahu, tapi naturalisasi di IBL itu I think it was earlier than sepak bola.
Nah, I cannot recall it. Because I feel like kayak kebutuhan naturalisasi di IBL itu lebih banyak daripada kebutuhan di sepak bola. Yes.
Iya kan? Because the benefit of just being from abroad is just way more gitu kan.
Ya kita susah juga cari pemain tinggi sih.
Betul itu kan.
Manusia
mungkin secara
langka
fisik.
sih orang
betul.
tinggi sih.
Dan what's your take on this? Because gua nggak sedalam lo gitu. Apakah ini normal? Apakah ini it's sports gitu? Or
It's normal.
Okay.
Negara lain juga, Philippines kan
That's
the
right.
best basketball country in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Mereka punya pemain campuran sebanyak apa sih? Banyak banget men. Di Amerika juga nggak habis-habis itu pemainnya mereka.
Yeah.
Yang talentnya mereka, Phil Ams. Dan mereka tetap naturalisasi. They got Andre Bludge.
Yeah.
They almost naturalized JaVale McGee.
Wow.
Ya, jadi sekarang ada Jordan Clarkson. And they have all the talents they got. Kai Soto, they got AJ Adu. So, even Junmar Fajardo, mereka even punya udah talent segitu, mereka tetap naturalized.
Yeah. Okay.
Jadi kita, it's fine.
Yeah. I got two questions left sebetulnya. Yang pertama adalah, akankah ada waktunya kita melihat seseorang dari Indonesia bermain di NBA?
I don't think it's in my lifetime. I don't think it's in my lifetime.
There's a name right now, and you're not mentioning his name.
My little bro, I love him.
I know you do.
Derek Michael. Yeah, but you still have a lot to prove though. You still have a lot to prove. Obviously, yeah, I'm paling close because he's there now.
Yeah.
At Long Beach. But I need to see him improve still di beberapa aspek game dia sih. And I need to see him juga kayak lebih hungry.
Got it.
Gonna see him next month. We'll see.
What you gonna say?
Gonna say that. Better work his ass off. Because gue selalu bilang sama dia kan, karena lu doang yang punya opportunity ini, Ben.
Yeah. In
You
a
got the
country of
body.
270 million people.
Yeah. You got the body. You got the talent. You got the athleticism. You got the opportunity. You playing NCAA Division 1. Main di Long Beach. So you better don't take this opportunity for granted. I keep telling him that.
Oh.
And now I'm happy to see him getting 20 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You know, but still, he could still be better. Gue ngomong gini karena gue percaya dia potensinya masih jauh banget dari potensinya dia gitu loh. Jadi gue, he knows that I love him because gue udah follow dia dari dia gak bisa dribble bola. Dia gak bisa dribble bola.
Dan lo gak bisa bilang lo bukan uncle berarti.
Iya.
You old, man.
Yeah.
You can't say.
I know I can say this because he knows that I care about him.
It's full of love.
Yeah.
It's full of love.
So he needs to work twice harder than he's working right now.
My last question is, it's gonna be a fun weekend.
It is. Cannot wait.
It's the start of the IBL season. What is it like to be there, meliput itu, and how do you feel about it this year?
I feel like this is gonna be the best season ever. Oh my god. I love connecting with the players. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it juga kalau mereka lihat gua, kamera gua nyala, and they say something to my camera. Oh my God, that's like the best feeling in this world.
Oh wow.
You know?
Yeah.
When they, I can't wait though. Gua udah
They
nungguin.
give you love all the time though, tapi Rocky.
They do. I never say they don't.
Yeah.
They do. But gue tapi seneng banget kalau mereka lihat gue
Interaksi gitu ya.
Interaksi gitu. It just, cause I know that, apalagi pemain import ya. I know that mereka tuh, they connected really well with me.
Got it.
Cause gue juga appreciate them.
Yeah.
I appreciate them. I show them love. And kayaknya tuh kadang-kadang ya, menurut gue mereka tuh cuma bisa ekspresif sama gue.
Yeah. Well, you're the only one out there doing this shit.
No, there's a couple.
There.
There's ada beberapa lain lah, tapi ya, I'm lucky, like I said, that I'm very, how do you say, cultured?
Yeah.
So I'm
I get
very
what you
cultured. So, and beberapa juga balik kan dari last season. So we bond really well together. And gue juga kalau interview mereka kan gue mencoba untuk ngangkat story-nya mereka juga. Untuk memberikan mereka platform juga lah untuk cerita gitu. Gue juga happy. So in a way kita semua saling bantu lah.
You should hook me up with one of them. Like,
Yeah, I could.
Who should be on this seat?
KJ McDaniels. For
Got
sure.
it. Let me know.
Former Houston Rockets.
Wow.
Juara tahun lalu sama Pelita Jaya.
Wow.
Defending champion.
Yeah.
Main sama James Harden. So you could get a couple of James
Yeah,
Harden
yeah,
story probably
yeah,
from
yeah.
him. Yeah, I'm telling him he's a very nice guy.
Cool.
Walaupun
That's
dia hari ini, tadi harusnya sebelum gue kesini interview dia sih, tapi
okay.
tapi dia
Somebody bailed out.
Iya, terus dia katanya nyangkut di lunchroom lain lama. Pak gue ada di Kuningan tadi. But it's okay, I still love him. Tapi gue penasaran dia agak quiet ya. He's a very quiet person. So gue juga pertanyaan gue sama dia. Ini pertanyaan gue beberapa yang tough loh.
Yeah.
Dia bilang, wow, tough questions. Makanya gue nggak tahu dia semau cerita apa sih.
Yeah.
Dia sih. But I think you should get KJ McDaniels here or who else? Yeah, I think if you could get Jordan Adams, tapi ngomongnya juga irit-irit lagi. If you get Lester Prosper.
Yeah, Prosper's really nice. I know him personally,
Yeah.
and he's a cool guy. He's like sometimes weird juga sih.
Yeah.
He's a weird guy.
Jadi semoga podcast ini gue sama Iyas dan juga Magna, hopefully ini bisa membuka jalan juga untuk kalian undang pemain-pemain import, pemain lokal ke sini sih. Karena ya ini gue coba lakukan juga sih, gue pengen promosiin basket sih. Kalau bisa even different, cross market lah, different market, tapi bisa bantu basket karena ya pengen jadi ambasador basket Indonesia lah saya lah.
And you're still a long way to go, man.
A long way to go.
I'm really proud of you, and I've known you for ages. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what you do, and I see the love, and I see the passion, and I really appreciate it. And I know a lot of people do. So, Rocky, thanks for being here, man.
Man, I'm really thankful, grateful, appreciative of you for having me here, man. One of the goals, man. I told you, right? One of my goals to make it here, and I'm here, so I'm happy, man.
Dude, thanks a lot. Anything else you want to add?
Guys, jangan lupa untuk selalu support basket Indonesia.
Yep.
Nonton seru kok, seru. Percaya sama gue deh. A lot of drama this season. It's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be loud, trash talking.
What's the game that we should watch?
This weekend. Ini belum keluar ya, tapi but if you could catch one of the big games kayak mungkin Pelita Jaya lawan Dewa United ataupun juga mungkin Dewa United lawan Satria Muda, I think that's gonna be fun. Pemain importnya juga sekarang udah bagus-bagus semua, ada banyak ex-NBA players. So gua yakin kalau kalian ikutin basket Indonesia this season IBL nggak akan nyesel sih. And jangan lupa untuk support Iyas and Magna as well.
Rocky, that was beautiful. Kalau gitu, my name is Iyas Lawrence.
I'm Rocky Padilla.
I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye guys.